Greetings, this is Errol Jumbo. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to create an SSL certificate for an Android application. And this is brought to you by ojumboshop.com Learning PHP course. So, in essence, an SSL certificate is required when an Android application attempts to upload to a server. For a LAN application, like that's my case, a self-signed certificate can be packaged and used in the Android application. OpenSSL can generate the certificate authority and the SSL certificate signed by the CA. That's the certificate authority. So as you can see here, what I do have is I explain in the glossary here what all these things mean: the SSL, TLS, HTTPS, that's what we're interested in, and what an SSL certificate is, and what an SA stands for. That's this. This is the one that signs the certificate, so that's why it's also called a certification authority. So before I go forward, I just want to let you know that I do a live stream every day. So you can just go to watch live and you can see the upcoming live streams. For example, this one was live, but I recorded a black screen, so I'm recording it again, hopefully to go a little faster. So for my particular use case, I have a chicken webcam that I'm creating. So it does need HTTPS or secure connection. So because it's local, I can't, for example, go even get a free one like Let's Encrypt, because that will not work. It's just a local internal IP address. One of the reasons I also want to use an IP address is because older versions of Android, especially the devices, they don't have. I can't use the local host type domains in the network. Android, for some reason, I don't know why Google decided to do that. They finally resolved it, but for some of those other devices that might not work. That's another reason why having an IP address makes sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is for basically the chicken webcam, just a quick backstory is that it's needed. Basically what it does, it takes a photo every, say, 3 or 4 seconds. It uploads it to a PHP server, which will handle the image and make it available as well. So I didn't want a full-fledged HTTP server, so I was reading PHP. PHP has a built-in one. The problem with PHP is it doesn't come with SSL. It doesn't handle SSL, the built-in web server. So that's why I need another application called Sterno, which works very well. I'll show you how to do that when we get to the command line. And as you can see here, the reason all this is open is because I was actually, I should refresh this. I did make a change. Yes, I did. So in order to go fast, because I already spent an hour, as I said, recording a literal black screen, that's because I was testing another app called DroidCam, and I forgot to mute it in OBS Studio. So I'm going a little fast. So what I'll do, there will be a lot of copy pasting. The reason for that is I said I just want to go as fast as possible, so I don't waste my time and your guys' time. So you can see the code is all here. I'll just explain it. I think that way I can spend more time explaining. So OpenSSL, OpenSSL is a suite or package of tools. The one we're interested in, the one that actually generates the SSL certificates, and obviously the CA, that's certificate authority. So I have the link here for you. You can simply just go to the OpenSSL website, and you can see here, you can get it here, and then you can go to the you find all the information. If you go to downloads, and you get it cross-platform. So whether you have Mac, Linux, Windows, or even mobile devices, it's cross-platform. Okay, as you can see, it says right here, OpenSSL software library is a robust, commercial-grade, full-fledged toolkit for general-purpose cryptography and secure communication. So we're interested in the secure communication. We don't really need it because, as I said, it's a LAN application, but that's fine. So as I said, I'll explain all this. So what I want to do now is just remind you that you should subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, so let's head over to the command line. I'm going to take this out of the way. I think, yeah, I'll take this out of the way because that's not needed right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder. Just delete some of this stuff I just did earlier. I can't believe that. So what I'll do is I'll create a folder called, and I'll call this folder, make sure I'm actually recording, delete that black screen, and then so you go to the tutorial folder. I'll show the tutorial folder. I'm just going there now because I did this before. So we go to, which one was it? Tutorial. Create Android tutorial. I have to do this all over again. Okay, call a folder called and tutorial. There we go. And I'll call it and for Android. Okay, I'll go into that folder. Okay, here we go. We're inside this folder, and I'll drop to the command line. Oops, the command line opened up in a different place, which is okay. So what I'll do is, where is my guy? Okay, I'm just gonna zoom in so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Where is the trick? Oh, here we go. Okay, come on, and paste. Okay, clear the screen. I'll make this a little bit, I'll make this smaller, and I'll make this bigger so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Zoom in a little bit, that should be enough. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to generate an SSL, where does it go here? We're going to generate a certificate authority. That's the one that will be used to we generate the certificate authority configuration file. So what I'll do is I will simply take this and I'll explain it. I'll explain it in a text editor. You can just use a text editor to create a file. So it's ca.config. So open up in the text editor. And as you can see here, I'll zoom in so I can explain this. So this is one of the required inside the square brackets. And the prompt means that there's no user prompt. It doesn't prompt. It just confirms automatically and without disturbing you. And distinguished name equals required distinguished name. So that will be in here. So the CA, that's a country. This is the state. This is the locality. So the state here, you can put anything. Remember, it's self-signed. You can put anything you want in here. So for example, this, if I was in the States, this would be US. This would be the state I'm in, and then the locality, whatever city or town I'm in. And the O, that's the organization. So I just called Ojambo Show Tutorial Certificate Authority. OU, that stands for the organization unit. So I just picked the app name, Chicken Webcam. And the CN, that's the domain name or common name. That's what it stands for. And the email address, I just made up something here. And this one, so one of the things when you go online and you search, hi, can I make a certificate just for an IP address? Everybody will tell you, no, you can't do this and whatever. What these people don't understand is, you are, in my use case, it's for local. It's only local. It's localhost intent. So of course you can do it. And here's proof. I'll show it to you. So that's that. I'm going to minimize this. Next, we're going to create a domain configuration file. So that one, I'll explain that as well. Okay, so it's here. Open text editor. I'll zoom in here and I'll explain everything as well. You see the same rec and rec distinguished name. So bits, this means, I'll zoom in a little bit more. So bits means the strength of the encryption. So 248, 2048, sorry, is fine. And the distinguished name again is the rec distinguished name. These are the extensions, rec extension, and the v3 for x509, and the prompt again, no. So again, country name, whatever country you're in, the state or province, locality name, just make everything up, I said, because we are, let's put localhost, organization name, certified certificate by Ojambo Show, common name, and again, this is our domain. So the subject name is alt, and the subject name for the rec and the v3, and the alt name, this is the way you'd put your IP So meaning that if I was using something like say jamboshop.local here as a common name, that normal domain, then the IP address will be here. Meaning that if somebody uses the IP, it's an alternative name to the domain. So if somebody puts it in here, then for example, I can put more in here. I could say localhost. I could put more IP address. If I have more IP addresses, say 1.23, I could do that as well. And also, for example, if I wanted to actually do if I wanted to actually use a name, for example, like ojamboshow.local, I can do that as well. So you could have .1, .2, and etc. as many as you want. Same with IP. I could have IP.1, IP.2, and etc. In my use case, I don't really care about any of those because I only want a single IP. Okay, so that's that. Now, next, what we're going to do is we're going to actually create the private key, the certificate authority private key, and the certificate authorities certificate. And we're going to give it a 365-day validity. So as you can see here, the rec nodes new x509, the key out, CA key out, and CA cert. So that's the certificate, this is the key, and the day is 365. And the configuration file we use is ca.config. That's the file, first file we made. You see the key here? This is just a text file, so I can simply just open this up. You can see, so the config. So this is the cert, I stamp it here. You see it's just a simple certificate. And then the key here, the key is also just a text file, but you see it says private key. But if your file manager allows, or you have something to read, if I actually double click this, no, it's not. So because it's a private key, so that can't be read. If you have a reader, you might be able to look at it. Because it's private, that's why it's like that. Okay, so next, what we're going to do is we're going to create a web server secret key and certificate request. So if you see here, what we did was, you see, we say SHA-256, the node's new key RSA 2048, key out, so this is our key, and this is the signing request. CSR, that's a signing request. Now in this particular case, you see the key here, we should be able to open this up. See, this is a private key, it says private key there as well. And then this one should also be just a text file. So if I open up here, it's also, you see, it says begin certificate request, certificate request. They're all just text files. Okay, now we're actually going to create our key, a certificate, and we're going to sign it for 90 days. The reason for that is because recently I was creating an app, and even though I self-signed the certificate, I only signed it for 180 days. It refused it because it was saying it wanted a shorter time, so I had to make one for 9 days. So just 9 days should be fine. So again here, rec days 90. You see, this is the certificate signing request, and then you see the certificate authority, the CA cert, that's the one we made before, and then the CA key, that's the key we made, the private key for the certificate authority, and then CCA create serial out. This will be our certificate. That means it's actually signed, and you see this is the extensions that we used, and then the configuration file. So if I hit enter here now, you can see it says certificate request signature okay. And this is in the subject, you see this is the country, the state, the locality, and it will the organization that actually signed it. And you see the domain, it's the IP address. So now we've actually created basically an IP address instead of a domain name. So now that we have that, we should have our certificate, which should be, this is our certificate. So again, it's just a text, it's just a simple text, they're all text. That's why you can simply copy and paste them. Okay, now before we continue, I just wanted to know that it's some other devices of Android, they require the certificate to be in a PEM format. So I'll show you how to, it's actually very easy to convert them into PEM format. So you just paste that in here. And you see, I just renamed it. You see X509 in and out. So PEM, and this one, the PEM. So now there are two PEM files, both for the self-signed certificate and then the certificate authority. Okay, so now we are done. We're almost done here. I'm just going to create, I'm going to create an index file. So because I need to start a server. So I'll just create I'll create a file there. And I will also, I'll recreate that as well. Paste that in there. It's just a simple, this is just a simple HTML, index.html file. The reason I'm doing that is so that I have something to get when we test it on Android. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to start the PHP web server. But the problem with the PHP web server, the built-in web server, is that it doesn't have, it can't handle SSL connections, security connections. So that's why I'm going to use another program called Sterno. So for Sterno, what I did was you can combine the certificate and the key and create a Sterno PEM file. That's what I did here. But you can use those separately as well if you want. But you can also combine them. That's another option. So then what I'm doing is I will then create a configuration file for Sterno. I'll show all this to you in a second, and then I'm going to start the Sterno and the PHP built-in web server as well. So that's what this ampersand means. This means runs in the background, and then PHP will start on port 8000. And I'm using the IP address. So now, as I promised, I'm going to open up both. Let me open up the text file, and I'll open up the index.html. You see, it's just pure. It's just a simple see, HTML. It's just the HTML. Okay. The next thing I do is the Sterno config file. I'll explain this very quickly as well. So basically what it means is that it's going to connect to 192.168.22.8000. That's a PHP built-in web server. And then it will create an SSL version on a different port number, so 8443. Then you may be wondering why I didn't use port 80 and 443. That's because I also do run a localhost Apache server, so especially when I have work from clients. So I don't want to disturb it. That's why I decided to use different port numbers. But if you don't have that built in, you can use 80 and 443. That's up to you. And of course, you see the cert. It will be the PEM file, and the key will be the PEM file, and this CA authority will be the CA cert file, and then verify peer. We actually don't need. You actually don't need this. But I will leave it there because I don't think it will hurt anything. But if there's a problem, I'll just stop it, and I'll stop the server, and actually this is literally not needed at all. So I can literally just get rid of that. But I'll leave it in there. It's not needed. It's not needed at all. Okay, so that is now the server is running. And to test, you see it started here. And to test that it's actually running, when we go here, if we go to, actually I don't need this to be as large. So you can see the terminal output here. So if I just go HTTP, first I'll go 192.168.1.22. Oh, I forgot to put the port number we're using. It's 8000. I think it's 8000. I can't remember if I use 8000 or 8080. Yeah, you see, the requests are fine. Oops, it's not supposed to be HTTPS. You see, it worked, 8000. You see these errors. I can fix that by going to, because the other port number we're using 8443, and that one is going to be HTTPS. You see, then it's asking me because it's a self-signed certificate. What is going on here? Denied, access denied. Why is it access denied? It's unsupported. Okay, so that's probably because of that verify thing. I probably need to remove it. Let's try 8443 index.html. Make sure there's not a, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna stop this server. Grep sterno. So sterno should be working in the background. Yes, it is. I'll just kill it. 312. Okay. Now before I start it, what I'll do is, I believe I have the text editor open. No, I don't. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll edit this file. So my first instinct was right. Yeah, so this verify thing is not needed at all. Yeah, there we go. So that was probably the problem. Now I should start the server. Go back here. Now everything should be okay. Yeah, you see, HTTPS, the secure connection is fine. So the verify thing, just remove that. It's not needed. I was right. Okay, so now it's working. Now let's head over to Android. Okay, so we're gonna start with Android, Android Studio. How would I call this one? Antutu or something like that. Okay, so I created this earlier and it was a fail. So let me close this project. I need to actually delete this project too. Okay, so this project should actually be remove. Yes, I'll remove it. So I'm going to create a new project and I'm going to use an empty activity, and this one is going to be what do I call it? Android tutorial. I hope that name I did use before, so everything else is okay. Okay, it's building. Okay, it's done. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I will go a little bit. So I'm gonna create the network security config file. So we go to res here. We'll go to XML, and you right click and you click on new. Come on, new file. No, that's not one. Takes a little while for the. I guess it's still working. Wow. Okay, it's okay. It wasn't done yet. That's probably why. I didn't realize it was still running in the background. Okay, now we should be able to create a new file in here. Yeah, there we go. So new XML resource file, and we're gonna call it network security config. I'll spell it right. Yes. Then what we want the source code. So you click on this icon here. See the code icon. Zoom in here. And we don't need any of this. So what you need to create is network security config. There we go. And there's going to be a base config. Okay, so in the base config, you need to have some trust anchors. Let's spell it right. Anchors. Then you have some certificates, source. So you want the system ones if you want to connect to the internet. I mean the outside internet. Certificates. And this is also very important here. User means our own certificates that we have added. They should also be trusted. So this should actually be an R. There we go. So we're done with the base config. Now we'll create a domain config. So in the domain config, why is that giving me a problem here? No elements. Of course there's no elements. because I'm making them right now. Domain includes subdomains equals true, and then we put our domain 192.168.1.22 include, oh, it's include subdomains. There we go. Okay, so then we have our trust anchors again. Trust anchors. Okay, I don't know why that didn't indent. Okay, then we have certificates. Actually, I'm not gonna put this yet. I want to show you something. So when we go to our resource folder here, we right click new. We want to create a new folder. It's going to be the raw resources folder. Just click finish. So here's a raw folder here. So what you can do is, remember our certificates here, the PEM files that we created, this one and this one. So grab both and dump them in there. Okay. All right. So you see we should have two files in there. Back here. Now we say certificates source equals, so we say at raw slash and chicken webcam pem ca. Okay, duplicate, oops, how do I duplicate? Is it control D? Yeah, duplicate. Okay, so the other one is the cert. So now we're finished with our network security config file. So we just save that. I don't know why this is a warning, but okay. So next, what we do is we're going to create a manifest permissions. So what we do is we go to our manifest file, and under manifest, we open that up. So we need to add two things in here. The first one is we need to create a users permission, and the permission is Android. Yeah, permission internet. There we go. That's the one we want. Okay. Next, in here, we need to tell it where to find our file. So it's Android. So it's a network configuration. And then you see, finally, it should be at raw XML. Oh, I just put XML. So XML, there we go. That's it. That's it. Nice and simple. So you can just tell it where your security configures. It found it in there. And now we can actually now go to the coding part. I think the file is already open in the coding. The Kotlin is using Kotlin here. So zoom in here. So here, let me see how much time has been right now. So you can put in whatever code you want in there. I'm gonna put in my code for testing the URL. So this has nothing to throw. You put whatever you want in there. So what I'll do is I will import that. Import that. Import that one. Import that one and import that one. Okay, so Now I can run my code. It's going to probably take a while because it's going to run on my emulator. So it's going to do that. So, oh, it's actually pretty quickly. So I'll go to the logcat. And once it's finished building, there should be a, we should see an output here. Oh, so there's a mistake. I can't. Unresolved reference URL. Okay, so I forgot to import. I'll get the Java one. Okay, so let's run that again. Go back to the logcat and let's clear what the logcat had there. So it's building and everything seems to be okay. Let's make sure that it's able to do what we want. I don't see. It should output our. Unless maybe I went too fast. I might have to run this again. I think I went too fast. It didn't actually run my. I don't think it actually. I think I might have deleted it accidentally. So I'll probably delete. I did too quickly. So let's. I'll stop this. And I'll run it again. Or maybe I didn't hit save. I think it's possible. Okay. Oh, of course. This is the wrong one. The wrong URL. So it's 192 dot. Okay, let's stop this. It's the wrong URL. 192.168.1.22.8443. Okay, I'll delete this. There we go. So you see it grabbed the page and output here. You see this is the HTML file right here. HTML, you can see it all down here. Yeah, so it does work. So that's how you can have an IP address just in here, and you can create a SSL certificate and it will work. So that's how you do that. So I'm going to stop this. And then I'm going to exit out of here. So be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. And I said every day I do host a live stream. You simply go to ojambo.com, you go on the watch menu live, and you can see the approximate date and time that the next live stream or the current live stream is going to be. It also shows you the channel. You can click on it, and for example, if you notice up here, it puts a little code snippet here, and it will tell you the time and where you can watch it. So also, if you enjoyed this, just before I do that, the closing statement. So the explanation here is very simple. We generate a certificate authority. We generate a certificate and signed it using the certificate authority. We converted the certificate to PEM format if you're targeting older Android versions. We added the certificate to the raw folder in the Android project. Then we generated an Android network security configuration XML file. This is the path res/XML. And then we generated the Android manifest permissions. For example, I need one for internet and also to add our network security configuration into the application part of the manifest file. And finally, we had our code snippet to test a URL connection. So if you did enjoy this, be sure to support me. Or consider supporting me. Purchase one of my WordPress plugins at ojambo.com, enroll my programming courses at ojamboshop.com. Buying my programming books on Amazon, search for Edward Ojambo, links in the description. You can hire me for programming and app development needs at ojamboservices.com, and you can also become a donor at ojambo.com/donate. You see it's here, and the best place is up here in the header. You see there's a specific icon for you for donating. Okay, so that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.